Good morning. So it's interesting to me that the piece of the gospel that we get today is a portion of the Gospel of John. And, some biblical scholars, they like to look at books of the Bible and kind of separate them up and say, okay, well, this section we're going to call this, and this section we're going to call this. And the book of John, many biblical scholars, um, they break it into two parts. The first part is the book of signs, and the second part is the book of glory. And so the book of signs is really Jesus's life and teaching and his preaching and all the crazy, wonderful things that he says in the Gospel of John. And the book of glory is his death. It's him traveling to Jerusalem. There's a definite turn in the tone of how he starts speaking to himself or of himself and to other people. And so it's the travel to Jerusalem, it's his arrest, his trial, such as it is, his death, the punishment and his death, and then the resurrection. So what we get right here, and this is John chapter 12, verses 20 through 33, what we get is the turning point. So there comes a time in Jesus's life where he stops doing the miracles. He stops healing people. He stops feeding people. He stops preaching about them and their lives and how they can live better lives, how they can live closely in relationship with God. He stops preaching about that. And he starts letting them know that he's going to die. And this is that moment. And the final group of people that say, we've come to see Jesus. We wish to see Jesus. Show us where Jesus is. They come with him. There's a crowd. Jesus is there. His disciples say, these Greeks want to talk to you. And Jesus says, that time is past. The hour has come. We're shifting gears here. And, that just makes me think that there's a time and a place for things. And that even the man who is most famous for helping people as he walked the earth, even he said, no, I'm done now. I need to focus on other things now. Even he took a step back. Jesus had boundaries. And there are other times when he would escape from the crowds just to be alone, just to pray, just to speak with his Father. But this is the great step away. And yes, he's about to die. But he's the only one who knows that. And as he speaks in front of the crowds, he says, now my soul is troubled. And what should I say? Father, save me from this? No, this is what I came for. Father, let your name be glorified. And I think that whether or not Jesus's soul was troubled for any of the reasons that we think it ought to be, because let's be honest, Jesus rarely seems to have the reactions you and I might have in a situation. He knew what he had to do, and he just went and did it. That is a level of commitment and personal conviction that not many of us have. And that's okay. We're not actually required to be stoic unto death. Jesus did it so we don't have to. But what we are required to do, which might be almost as difficult, is live the way he said, which, yes, all comes back, because it always comes back, to loving our neighbor as ourselves. And I say it over and over again because Jesus said it over and over again, more eloquently than I do. And I say it over and over again because it's not easy. And it's not just that we have to practice it once a day, though that's a great place to start. It's that this is how we're supposed to be patterning our whole lives. Every thought, every interaction. And does that mean that we can't be angry? No. I do think it means that we need to face the emotions that we have and be very, very honest about them. Because that is the only way that we can deal with them. When we sweep our anger and our outrage and our upset under the carpet, what leaks out is guilt and shame and pain that we don't understand the source of. It's because maybe for the last 40 years we've been sweeping our emotions under the carpet. I think the way to truly love our neighbors as ourselves is to be utterly honest about the way we feel, if only to ourselves, if only to one other confidant. To let it out. And so be able to let it go eventually when the time is right. And so be able to return to a place of true peace. And Jesus, he was peaceful, even at the end. Amen.